Welcome back to the adventure, everyone. Last time we wrapped up Angler's Tunnel and ventured into the Telltale Mountains for a little bit. We have a few acquisitions we can make now that the flippers are in our possession. Actually being able to swim is a real boon, especially since we have some good pickups around here. Swim along, and this is one of the original heart pieces. You had to keep diving to try and find it. Here, it's much easier to see where it is. So that gives us 18. While you can exit the water near here, what we do want to do is swim back towards Angler's Tunnel and go west a little bit. You might have noticed a cave with a couple of fish carved into the wall above it. This one right here, well, they're not carved into it, there's sort of sculptures placed on it. Anyway, swim in here and speak to this big friendly sunfish. I am Manbo, child of the sunfish. Have you got an ocarina? Ha ha ha! Then I can teach you my song. We have learned one of the most important songs in the game, Manbo's Mambo. When you play my Mambo, you can warp to a warp point around the island. Try this tune in the dungeons too. And since today's a special day, I'll let you warp to Manbo's pond too. Cha-cha-cha. Exactly. Manbo's pond becomes a warp point. It was the only warp point you had in the original games, but we still have to swim a bit, but I'll show it off once we do get out of the water. Swimming along here will actually lead us to a little waterfall I asked you to look at. Dive at the bottom of it for another secret seashell. But that's not all, we still have one more item to find in the waters around here. This was one of the original heart pieces. And you also might notice that we are being followed by a ghost. Swim steadily along towards the front of Canalet Castle. We can't get up there. This was a devil of a heart piece to find. Dive to it and grab it. And that gives us 3 in the current lot. We need to get out of the water. It's not exactly explained why the ghost is following us, but he is. And we can see a Genie up there as well, so it's definitely not a Genie. Continue cruising along, and the ghost will ask you to take him to the house at the bay. Do you remember that old rundown house I showed you? I think it was in episode 5 I showed that to you. Anyway, we do need to head down there. Can I warp? Will the ghost follow me if I warp? There we are, we've played Manbo's Mambo. And off we go. So this is instantaneous fast travel, basically. And there he is, he does follow us. So, run and jump and fall down the hole. I'm very good at doing that. And now, the ghost will look around his old house. I might have nicked your secret seashell, sorry about that. It's time to take him back to his grave. I pointed it out to you earlier. But we'll play a quick Mambo, and the closest warp point would be Manbo's Pond. I believe part of this was designed to show off what Manbo's Mambo could do. There's Crazy Tracy's. Stop by if you do need any help from her. And head down past the witch's hut. In the Link's Awakening manga, I think the ghost was an old soldier or something like that. It has been a long time since I had a look. But head up here, and this is indeed that ghost's grave. You can get a photo with him in the DX version. It will happen automatically. In the original games, he told you about a secret seashell in his house. This time, after you've guided him safely home, we have another bottle. And the flapping of wings means the owl is here to deliver more exposition.
It has been some time since our paths crossed, lad. You must dive into the waters of Martha's Bay to enter the catfish's maw. The closer you get to the windfish, the more restless he sleeps. Carry onward.
Before we do that, I'm going to quickly duck back to Martha's Bay because there is something we needed to do. You will notice that Catfish's Maw is illuminated. It's right there in the middle of the bay. We have a couple of things we can grab, and we need to do the next step of the trading sequence here. You can finally pick up the secret seashell in there, dive under the Zora as it spits fire somehow through the back of its head. And there we go, another secret seashell. That time it actually turned around, that's fair. So, now, we actually have the flippers. We also have bomb arrows. So we can get across here. I pointed these stairs out to you. We'll avoid a few piranhas. Better than I did anyway. And dive down here to wrap up another heart container. Not too shabby at all. So, once we navigate outside, avoid the buzz blob and head down these stairs. It's another shrine like the one where we increased our magic powder capacity. And our familiar bat friend is back. This time we get to carry more bombs, and I'm not doing the voice again. Mainly because it's pretty much repeating myself. And there we go, we have 60 bombs. We'll set Manbo's Mambo to the ocarina so that we can quickly make our way back. I'll quickly just warp to Martha's Bay rather than worrying about going down the passage, because puts us a little bit closer to a heart piece, and we don't have to worry about running and jumping and me falling in a hole again. Make your way up here and head on into the waters of Martha's Bay. Swim around here because there is a heart piece. I showed you this one earlier. And a very nice acquisition indeed. Do remember, take note of that mermaid statue. You can dive where those bubbles are to get into Catfish's Maw, but we do have a few extra things to do along the way. We're not going there just yet. We can say hello to the mermaid who lives here too. When I was swimming in the bay, the waves took a very important necklace from around my neck. If you find it, I will let you take a scale from my tail. Now, it's interesting to note, in the Japanese version, she actually lost her bikini top. Okay, so we'll maneuver away from those enemies and head back into Animal Village. I think Marin was hanging around. But we want to go in and talk to Christine, the goat. Oh, you brought me a hibiscus. How sweet. Well, since you are such a gentleman, I have a request to make of you. Will you listen? I would like you to take this letter to a Mr. Wright who lives on the border of the mysterious forest, please. And there we are. Next step in the trading sequence, which we do need to continue completing. Not a lot we can do around Animal Village just yet. So, tell you what, I will see you over at the mysterious forest where we can get to Mr. Wright's house. So here we are at the entrance to the mysterious forest. I'm actually making sure to get it right this time. Navigate our way across the northern reach of the forest. Defeat the enemies and head on in to Mr. Wright's house. He really has to be careful that he doesn't wind up falling into a hole the minute he steps outside. Talk to him. What's this? A letter for me? I'm so happy! And look, the letter came with a photograph. And you can see the hoof print on there as well. Yes, in the original games it was a picture of Princess Peach as well. Ah, she's so beautiful. I must give you something for your trouble. Oh, well, it looks like all I have is this broom. How'll that be? So we have a broom, but yes, that photo was not of the goat. Now we have a couple of destinations we can head to. If you like, we can head back to Mabe Village because we do need to complete the next step of the trading sequence there. And if you like, you can go fishing and look for a Cheep Cheep. Because once you've seen them in the Angler's Tunnel, Cheep Cheeps will appear. I believe it's also around this time that we will be seeing another secret seashell in the trendy game, so we'll have a quick look at that. But if we head down to Old Man Rira's place, poor Grandma Yahoo has lost her broom. Yahoo! Yahoo! A new broom? For me, it is, isn't it? Okay, in return you can have this fishing hook I found when I swept by the riverbank. So there we are, a fishing hook, particularly odd. But then again, that sort of quirky charm is all part of the game. So we have another secret seashell to collect, and a spiny figure. So let's get hunting on our seashell. We want to move. And, well, that's pretty good. Oh no! Alright, well, let's try again. So, if we move it straight up, that's as far up as it will go. And I think we've got it. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Oh well, that's a crane game for you. Alright, just scrape it up. And try again. We'll grab that spiny figure as well. Oh, come on. Yes, there we go. I think I'm a little bit off. Alright, we've actually got that one first time, so that is our bounty. There we go. Made with real metal spikes, huh? OHS would have a field day with that one. So, 33 secret seashells. Not too bad. This one goes in Mamasha and Papal's house. In we go. And I think it... No, that's the boo. Or does the spiny go... Nope. That's where it goes. So we actually have a few more things we can do. There is one thing I tend to forget, and it's a seashell I keep pointing out. So it's probably doubly annoying I tend to forget it. What you want to do is head around Pothole Field. See that water there? There's a seashell in there I pointed out quite a few times. This is the earliest we can get it, admittedly. I didn't mean to run into the house. But dash along here. Dive in. And another secret seashell is ours. Brings us up to 34. If you really rush, you actually can get the next sword. You can get the ultimate sword if you really push around this time. Speaking of time, it's probably a good occasion to wrap things up here. We'll take a break in the shade of these trees and then we'll get back to adventuring. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time on our adventure through Koholint Island.